You might have noticed that even though this guy is apparently running the federal opposition, you seem to hear more from this bloke, Wilson Tuckey. That's because he's got something that Malcolm just can't compete with.
This is a big mouth. Its owner is Wilson Tuckey, and his nickname is Ironbar. He earned it in 1967 when he beat an Aboriginal customer with a piece of electrical cabling in his pub. Wilson was charged, convicted and given a $40 fine, making him the only convicted criminal in federal parliament. But that hasn't stopped Wilson or his mouth. In 1988, at an AIDS conference, it opened up and said,
"You don't catch AIDS, you let someone give it to you."
The very next year, after Wilson helped topple John Howard as opposition leader, his mouth bragged about it on national TV.
We had to win quietly and, as I said, with secrecy and certainty.
By 1998, Wilson had made it as Minister for Forestry and Conservation. But his mouth reckoned he was only interested in it for the forestry part.
I stand up in front of people and say, I am the Minister for Forestry.
But in 2003, he was dropped from the front bench in a reshuffle, just weeks after trying to use his office to overturn a traffic fine for his son. For once, Wilson's mouth was silent, meaning others could be heard.
The Minister has embarrassed his colleagues, but he has not lost our support.
Wilson's remained on the back bench ever since, but his mouth still thinks it's on the front bench. Last year, Wilson was annoyed about Aboriginal dancers visiting Parliament House, and his mouth came out with this.
We're going to turn the Parliament of Australia into a dance parlour.
Recently, Wilson's mouth has opposed the emissions trading scheme, the apology to the stolen generation, and on most days, his leader, Malcolm Turnbull.
I'm sure someone else would run the party better.
It's also had Wilson suspended from Parliament 14 times, one shy of the all-time record. Today, Wilson's mouth remains one of the most active members of Australia's Parliament. His brain hasn't been quite as busy. Wilson Ironbar Tuckey, loose cannon, sacked minister, convicted criminal, and owner of one very big mouth.